play it any longer. We get a chance to dish it up with Dr. Deborah Stroman.
From the basketball court at the University of Virginia to the classroom at UNC Chapel Hill, Dr. Deborah Stroman has it all covered. Now this professor and sports business entrepreneur is about to take you to school. It's time for Dishing It Up with Dr. Stroman and the Sports Shop on Buzz Sports Radio.
D-Stro.
Good morning.
Good morning, good people. Woo, basketball time.
Yes, it is here. It is here. It is in full effect, Dr. Stroman.
And we had a ball this weekend, didn't we, Dr. Stroman?
Yes, we did. I think we got a fill of Greensboro Coliseum. It was a bit chilly in there, so hopefully we'll see more people in the stands watching the games. Yesterday, I was kind of disappointed. Saw a lot of empty seats. So we got to get some folks in there so that people can see the best basketball in the country.
They were nervous, Dr. Stroman, for their team.
Good.
They were nervous for their teams, Dr. Stroman. They didn't want to.
They should have been. They should have been.
You are correct.
Yeah, but this NCAA net, the way they're ranking teams now, I think, and many people have commented on this, is teams to slap the ACC play. Because all we do is just beat up on each other, so the net rankings go down. I still think, arguably, we have the best, from top to bottom, the best conference. But it looks like we won't get as many teams in because of this new rating that they're using.
Yeah.
But there is certainly a lot going on. I wanted to talk about athletes and guns when I heard the story about Sean Kemp, former NBA great. Who is allegedly, not allegedly, he's been arrested for getting involved in a drive-by shooting, altercation in a parking lot, which made me think about all the other cases of high-profile elite athletes having guns, displaying their guns. Karl Malone was quoted as saying, and he's a big hunter, that it's just stupid for professional athletes to have all these guns. And then the other side is they say that they don't feel safe without one. And their bodyguard is one thing, but they need to have protection on them. A lot of them have concealed carry, licenses. And others just feel that it just makes them feel better to have one on. But anyway, that's a whole entirely different subject, although we know that the whole gun situation will come up with Alabama. With Brandon Miller and his situation. So guns. The other story, of course, is Jim Boeheim, which was one of the weirdest press conferences, but I believe Jim Boeheim is weird. So just want to get your early thoughts on that. Not sure if you discussed it already.
We talked a little bit about it. Well, first of all, he didn't want to retire.
No.
Right.
It's up to them.
That's right.
It's up to them. Bruh.
Man, go ahead.
I mean,
47 years.
Yeah.
I just would like to be the AD for Syracuse when he said that. He said what? Oh, okay. Well, hold on a minute. Somebody got a pen?
So we found out real quickly after he said it's up to them. We decided it was up to them because about a couple hours later.
3 hours later, to be exact.
So I mean, he was there 70-some years or so, all in.
When you count it all.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, which speaks to that decision was made probably weeks ago.
Yes, yes.
And so unless they just had an amazing tournament run, this was already happening and Boeheim wasn't happy. The other side of this is thinking about the mental health of coaches. What person would want to stay in a position when we know that the brain is aging? I just think it's a control issue. And I've certainly known a handful of coaches where they just can't let go and their life is basketball.
Yeah.
And their relationships are all based on basketball or that particular sport. And it is so, so unhealthy. So I'm hopeful that family and his friends can rally around him to keep his spirits high.
That's right.
Since he didn't get his, goodbye tour with the ACC. And because it is the weekend of March Madness and seeding and where people are going to play, people are going to be glued to those greater stories. And someone with the accomplishments that he had, he's just not going to get all the love from the sportscasters because they're busy.
That's true.
Well,
That's very true.
Well, Mike Bray got more than he got.
He sure did.
How about that?
I got just had a couple of thoughts. The fact that this happened in Greensboro and
Greensboro has no value.
He said
and the comments he made a few years ago, there's no value in Greensboro. Apparently not even coaching.
Oops. Ooh, that's
Definitely
not
not
nice.
helping you keep your job. Ain't no value there. I can tell you, it don't add no value there.
But Dr. Stroman, Pam brought something up. I said I was so happy to hear that they and to your point, this is already decided several weeks ago probably because Adrian Autry is the new coach. And he's an African-American coach. I said, well, I want to see the first African-American coach. And Pam pointed out to me, yeah, he been coaching there for 50 years. You know he got to be the first African.
Got to be the first.
I don't think they were allowed in school prior
wasn't
to
it blacks in school at Syracuse 50 years ago?
Got to be the first African-American coach.
So I said, good point, Pam. I didn't think about it like that.
I mean,
well, it's so true. Syracuse has such a wonderful tradition with athletics, in particular with football.
Yeah.
And, the Boeheim brought the basketball there, but and I'll just say this, it's you have to have a hard sell to bring elite athletes up to cold Syracuse.
Sure.
And you got to have a winning program. I mean, that's just not an ideal spot. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep this tradition up.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I will say, Dr. Stroman, Coach Boeheim leaving, and it may be some truth to it. I would never go as far as to say that he's lost a step, but I will say this. No matter who you are, I don't care what you tell me, you do not have the same energy when you're 74, 72 than you had when you were 32.
Right.
Thank you.
Right, exactly.
Now, you can take that for what it's worth, but I'm just telling you, you were coaching a lot harder when you were 32 than you are when you're 72.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It is what it is.
We've heard it from the coaches that did finally, hang it up.
Yeah.
Coach K, Roy Williams, some of the greats who said they don't know if they can relate the same way to this new generation.
That's the other part,
and
yes.
so that means the assistant coaches, the associate head coaches are so critical because the old guy in the office is just not this. You just can't connect.
Right.
He's the old guy in the office.
Well, that's true.
And oftentimes it becomes a joke. I mean, how many times we, as more, let's just say we've got some years on us, when we pass our phone to young people or the remote control, figure this out. Hey, take this. And then there's a chuckle because it's that generational gap.
Yep.
And I'm sure that has happened with basketball as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But the bigger story, of course, and I'm directing this to KMAC, is UVA versus UNC tonight. I have to talk about this.
So let's have this conversation, Dr. Stroman.
Yeah. So
I'm leaving studio. I can't listen to this.
Yeah. Oh no, he can't take the pressure. That's all right. Look, because he don't want to hear the truth.
Well, Virginia is 4-14 against UNC all time in the ACC tournament, including a 0-6 record against the Tar Heels in Greensboro.
0-6.
0-6.
0-6.
Wow.
Yes. Team split in the regular season. We know about that. Most people would say, oh, it's Carolina with all the pressure. They have to win. Virginia, they want to hold on to their number 4 slot with the NCAA. So there is a lot of internal pressure in the sense that they want this game as well. Now, looking at Carolina against Boston College, and I thought Boston College would be much more competitive because BC is good. Here's a key. North Carolina only turned the ball over 7 times.
Right.
That's great for Carolina. Also, Caleb Love, he put up 22 points. Now, some Carolina fans would say that's great because he's grooving. Things are going to be great. But we also know the downside of that. Will Caleb Love start firing it up? And generally, Caleb Love does not play great against Virginia. R.J. Davis, he tends to play well against Virginia. Carolina will even allow him to do a little post over Kihei Clark. Also, home court advantage. Now, we know Carolina fans will dominate the stadium, dominate the arena. But because ABC is still in effect, anybody but Carolina, most of the non-Carolina fans will be cheering for Virginia. So it is a home court advantage, but don't be surprised if Virginia gets on a run, that the fans in the stadium start rallying around Virginia. And it's really weird because Virginia, what Tony Bennett has done, winning the regular season championship this year with Miami, winning 6 of the last 10 regular season championships, that shows that Virginia and number 2 seed should be considered the favorite here.
Okay.
But they're not.
They're not.
But they're not.
It's reason
In terms
for that.
of rosters, UNC generally has most of the 5-star, 4-star athletes. In fact, they've got 3 McDonald's All-Americans who start, Love, Davis, and Baycott, whereas Virginia only has 1, and he comes off the bench, McNeely, the West Virginia Player of the Year. Virginia has advanced to the semifinal round in 6 of the last 8 tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
A loss won't be bad for Virginia.
Good.
But it could possibly, affect them with the number 4 seeding.
Mm-hmm.
And then we know Reese Beekman, who was a runner-up to Leakey last year for Defensive Player of this year. This year he got the
Popularity
ring.
contest, Dr. Stroman. Reese Beekman, Defensive Player of the Year. My goodness.
I don't even know how you could say that when the coaches do this. They're the ones that vote. And everybody knows that Reese Beekman is the reason why Virginia is the number 2 seed. When you think about Virginia, it is a very balanced team. I imagine most fans don't even know the names of the starters, whereas Carolina, and rightfully so, gets all the media attention because of the tradition, because of the championships. But there's a reason why Virginia wins. They play team ball. So finally, the keys to the game, pace of the game. If Carolina can run up and down the court,
that's right,
or if Virginia can slow the game down, that's the key. UNC offensive rebounding. Pete Nance has to play tonight. He
absolutely has to play.
I'm sure they're going to shoot Baycott. They're going to give him the needle. He's going to play because this game is so important. And then Jaden Gardner, his mid-range shooting. Jaden Gardner, 3rd team All ACC. He's just got a solid mid-range game. But if he's missing his shots, it's going to be Carolina. So that's my take.
Okay,
Dr. Stroman.
I mean, that was a long take.
I want you to follow. Dr. Stroman, I want you to
I
follow.
only come on once a week. You got to give me some
That
time.
take was about 30 minutes.
I want you to follow that with one statement, though. Mm-hmm. And I am a Virginia Cavalier.
Yeah, that's my point.
Can you end with that?
And
that's exactly right. Yeah.
Can you
I played basketball there too.
Yeah. Can you end with that, please?
Yeah.
Thank you, K-Mac. I know oftentimes you're on an island by yourself with Errol and Pam, so I respect you. You bring it straight, no chaser, and I appreciate that you give some love to anybody who is who's not Carolina. So thank you.
Dr. Stroman, I just
Don't
want
you
to
know-
interject
thank
there
you, Pam.
because
Thank you.
you may have missed K-Mac earlier this morning. He does not understand what the hype is about Virginia.
He did say that.
And he
that's
doesn't
what I
think they're
heard.
really that good.
She know I'm telling the truth.
So, yeah, he ain't really for Virginia.
But-
Look, I witnessed the last time the Virginia Cavaliers won the national title.
you was there.
I
You
was
was there.
We were
standing
all
next
there.
to Dr. Stroman as she was crying real tears,
Aw.
standing there, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, you guys act like you've never done this before. Oh, that's right. But that's what I'm saying. So I get it. But I'm gonna tell you the truth though. This team here ain't that. It's not the same. That's not that team. I'm not scared
I
of this
agree
team.
with that. We all agree with that.
Right.
You've got 3 NBA players off
That's
of
right.
that team, and I'm talking about players who are with minutes. So that was an NBA team. This team will be lucky to have maybe one, Reese Beekman. He's definitely an NBA player, but not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? Virginia has the type of players, 2 and 3 stars, where 2-3 years later, after Virginia, do you see their greatness? Virginia has, I think, number 2 with the most NBA players in the NBA. Nobody talks about it, right? Duke is number 1, but Virginia is just filling up the rosters. But it's like a delay. Bennett is very much like a Dean Smith, unless, of course, you've got superstars, who come into the program and they're going to be NBA players. But they're slow developing type program. Now, as Coach Bennett has said, with the NIL and the portal, he doesn't know how long his style will be effective because he's asking players to win and develop.
He still looked the same. Just don't look him in the eye. When you look him in the eye,
Don't look at me now.
yeah, because he has that No, he's
Tony Bennett Sinatra.
Yeah, that's exactly
name.
right.
That's his new name, Tony Bennett Sinatra.
Yeah. So Dr. Stroman, here's my 2 cents. Since you didn't ask for my opinion about it. I just I'm sitting right here too. Virginia, everything you said is 100% correct, but for some reason, I think this year with this team and what I saw last night, I think Carolina's going to win by 10.
Okay. Fair.
And I think because
I don't disagree with that.
No, because here's the rub. Virginia's going to the tournament.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's right. They're
right.
comfortable.
Carolina, like, hey, bro,
This is it for me.
this is do or die.
That's right.
So
Although Hubert,
don't even say
even
that.
go there.
Go ahead and say it, Dr.
Because I went off 15 minutes yesterday on that one.
Go ahead and say it, Dr. Stroman. Although Coach Davis says what, Dr. Stroman?
I got to keep Errol's friendship. I won't repeat it.
I mean,
Repeat it for the,
'Cause he
the
know.
listeners.
Look,
no,
Errol knows
Clueless.
too.
All right, I'll say it. He seemed like he was clueless.
He missed it.
no. My thing is that I think that's what he says to the sports shop and other media people in the press room. I think internally he can't go inside that locker room and believe that he cannot.
Reese,
That's right.
you know
He cannot.
better.
I mean, that's common sense. K-Mac says that.
But to me, it's disrespectful to the media to sit there and act like you don't know what's
No,
going
no,
on.
he
Does
said-
think the media doesn't know.
No,
Right.
but what he's saying is y'all gonna write what y'all write anyway. I'm gonna say
keep
this.
it, I'm gonna stay positive.
I'm gonna stay positive.
I'm not buying that.
And I'm
not
going
buying
inside. Okay.
Yeah, oh no. Oh no, man.
He can't.
if that's the case-
Dr. Stroman. So if what you said is true, then how in the hell Carolina won one game this year?
Well, he's a damn good actor. There.
Because how can this guy lead anybody to anywhere if you feel that way? Because that makes no sense to say that.
Okay.
And really truly believe that. Because I'm saying he doesn't. He's saying that to us. Inside locker room. Inside locker room is different.
The point is, we don't know what type of coach Hubert Davis is yet. It's too early in his career.
Right.
So he might be doing things that are absolutely make no sense, and that will play out in 3-4 years. Or he might be the most amazing Hall of Fame coach, and that will play out in 3 to 4 years. It's just too early to tell. That magical run last year, every card played right for them. Now this year is a very telling year, right?
Exactly.
Next year will be a very telling year because it's not like he doesn't have the horses, the athletes to win.
Come on,
he
Dr.
gets
Stroman.
5-star athletes, so it's just too early to
Tournament and 3
tell.
stars in 1 year.
But these 5 stars have been playing like 2 stars, and that's the problem.
Well, we know
They
that
have.
players win games, but we also know coaches coach up players. So we're going to see.
Ooh.
We will see.
Okay.
This coming from a Hall of Famer now.
I ain't gonna mess with her.
This
I'ma
a Hall of
sit
Fame.
back.
Hall of
Sit
Famer.
down.
I'm not messing with her, but she's a little
dropping nuggets.
she's a little biased over there with Virginia, but I'm gonna leave that one.
I mean,
alone.
but she's still Hall of Famer. She see what she see.
But the thing is, though,
Ball is ball.
Hey, let me ask you,
Ball is ball.
Dr. Stroman, I got to ask you this question, then I'll get off this. Have you ever seen a situation where inside the locker room with your coaching staff, they share things with you guys that stays in the locker room? But externally, when they go out and talk to the press, whatever, it's something a little different than what they said inside the locker room. Has that ever happened to you?
Yes, that is very true.
Okay.
But the point was the media, the journalists, they were very direct. And anybody with a half of a brain knew the state of Carolina basketball.
First of all-
he didn't have to elaborate. He didn't have to go into detail. But for him to I thought it was disrespect to the
Well, here's the
people
thing.
in
First of all, he was like, hell, I don't even vote to see you go to the tournament. You know
That's
we
a
got to win.
deflection. That's
So
a
why?
deflection.
So why you asking me? You know
What
we
you
got to
mean why I'm
win.
asking you?
You know we got to win this game.
Because you started,
I mean, why you asking?
because you
You know we
started
got
the
to win this
season at
game.
number 1 and you dead ass last.
We're not dead last.
Well, you were
At
at the
that-
time.
that-
At the
that-
time you
No,
were.
no, not dead.
Well, at the time
Dead
you
as
were.
last one, ACC?
You
No.
weren't even ranked.
I'm talking.
I'm talking about as far as the national stage. I ain't talking about
It's
the
300.
ACC.
It's 360 some teams in college basketball.
We're
Ken.
not
Come on.
last.
We're
We
not
don't,
last.
we don't have to go down to Toledo.
But I
we got to
know.
argue about that.
But these. Why I gotta tell you something that's obvious
stop
though?
it. In Tar Heel Nation, they are dead last.
Exactly.
They are. The fans.
That's deflecting,
If
what
you
you're
aren't
doing.
one or number two,
Hey,
you're
G-Money.
dead last.
That's just deflected.
Turn my mic off, man. I'm done.
I like coaches, and again, maybe it will come with years and seasoning as Coach Davis continues his coaching career.
Right.
I mean, if that question were asked to John Thompson would have been like, "Yes, we know what we have to do."
No,
Let's move
John
on to
Johnson
the
would have
next
cussed him.
question.
No, John Johnson would have cussed him out. That's what would have
He
happened.
been direct.
He would have
would've
cussed
been
him out.
direct.
You wouldn't have walked away saying, "I wonder if he really doesn't
Does he
know."
really think that?
Right? Does
Thank
he?
you.
You wouldn't have walked away like that. You'd have walked away saying, "Damn, he got mad."
Yeah, right. He finally got mad.
Okay, I'm
I like rivalry days.
I'm
I
done.
like that. I like these
I'm
kind of
done.
days.
I'm done.
I like these kind of days. Thank you, Dr. Stroman. Man, this is wonderful.
I wish
What I'll close with is that since we are based in the greater Raleigh region, ask NC State fans what do they think about